There we go. Alright. Hello and welcome back to TenkoBerry Does and hopefully you are all doing alright and staying safe. So in today's episode, well, you know what, I could just bring this back down immediately, you know. We're going to be doing some art today. And I thought, you know what, we might as well work on our OK today, but I was thinking about doing a... If I have an image, wait 1 second. Also, I do apologize if the face, you know, model tracking breaks at one point. Because it did it before starting. Oh, it was just so annoying, I tell you. It was just so annoying. Alright, let's see. Ah, there it is. Save image. I'll just save it to OKs. It's easier to find. Alright, let me go and grab that image now. Ah, there it is. Guess I could just drag it in there. Couldn't I? Oop. What's counted as a PNG? It should be openable. Guess not. Well, that does not matter. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I thought we might as well do a OK cosplay today, I tell you. Oh, hello there, Inks. Hopefully you're doing alright and staying safe. I do apologize, you know, I stream at the weirdest times, I'm being honest, you know. I stream at the weirdest times. Let me set up secondary chat, because I forgot to do that before starting. Just being honest, I tell you. Just being honest. Alright. So, in today's episode we're going to be doing a TenkoBerry cosplay, and the cosplay that we're doing today is charcoal. I can place it there. It would be great if I could actually shove it into the image thing. I might actually attempt that again. And that is so I can steal the colours better. Actually, why not just do that? Yeah. And then I can have two. Go to screenshots. Bring that over and bam. There we go. Getting all rid of that unnecessary stuff. Alright, that seems pretty good so far. Alright. Now we can actually begin, I tell you. Now we can actually begin. Okay, so we are going to be creating a OK today of charcoal. And this one's going to be a little bit difficult because we have to work with a weird hair style, to be honest. The weird in the sense is that I'm not used to it. So let us go and sketch out. You know what? We'll do an extra layer, and then I'll just rub out that layer. Oops. Meant to do that. Rub out that extra layer so that I can draw on top of it without any issues. So we're going to create a strand bit here. Where's Oki's face? That would be in front of the face. Alright, how does that look? You know what, we need to create the downwards bit, that's what we need to create. That is a very hard angle to get proper, I tell you, actually. Alright, how about we start with the top? It looks like we got kind of a rectangle-y top, I tell you. That's what I'll say. A rectangle-y top, so not too bad for what we've actually already have here. Sorry, but I had to scratch my nose there. Just got super itchy. Oop. Super itchy there. Alright. That should be a good top there. Let's see, how does that go over there? Yeah, that should be alright. Yeah, yeah. Do I do it with the same side as well? Yeah, why not? There we go. Yeah, that is not too bad. Let me itch my ear. Oh, got very itchy in my ear there. Alright, we're not looking that bad here. We gotta have to work on the face, I tell you. Going to have to work on the face. Now the problem that we're going to have with the face is that I only see a few strands here. So what we're going to have to do is do a strand inwards. About that thick. And then the rest would be its own thing, right? Alright. And we go back and forth like this. Yeah, that should be perfectly fine there. That should be perfectly fine. Alright. We're getting there, I tell you, we're getting there. It looks a little bit awkward so far, but you know what? Everything looks a little bit awkward at the start. Alright, now let me go and start rounding this top bit here. To try and get that angle that we're looking for, I tell you. Is that going to be my angle of what we're needing? It's not as prominent as the other one, so I'll probably go a little bit further. Ah, yes, yes. That is not bad at all. And then there's a single strand that comes down this way that is quite thin. Now let me bring this above. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. Now for this bit here. It is looking a little bit odd so far, but do not worry, we'll fix that in a second. This is supposed to be curved downwards more. There we go. And then there's supposed to be another strand of hair here. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad at all. I feel like that is actually turning out not that bad. Now we're definitely going to have to do some dark lines to kind of fit everything together. So how about we start doing that, I tell you. To also start to help organize a lot of the things on where they are. Are they in the back or in the front? You know, who knows. that. There we go. Yeah, that's not looking too bad at all. Looks a little bit rough around the edges, but you know, that's to be expected. That is to be expected. We still also need to fit in the bunny ears, I tell you. I totally forgot about that detail. It would not be charcoal without the bunny ears, that's what I'll say. You know what? I think I should be able to give them a shout out if I remember how to spell the name. Alright, shout out. Infamous black coat. Did that work? I don't know. For some reason chat is very odd now. Let me go see if I can shout out this way. How do you write infamous? Infamous. You know what? I can never get it to work, I tell you. Can never get it to work. Alright. Where are we? Where are we in this? Ah, here we are. I totally lost track of where we were. Not the best thing to do, shall we say. There we go. And wrap that around there a little bit. That is starting to take shape. Once we actually get all the colour and stuff done as well, it'll look a little bit better than what it is now. There we go. Oh wait. Did it finally happen? Did it finally happen? I heard the noise. Wait for it. Yep. The dang thing broke the webcam again. Wait 1 second. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Everything I need is in there. I could attempt to see if it would work if I plugged it in here, but I don't think these USBs up here give enough power for that. Is it working? I'm not sure. I have to reset the entire thing to find out. Alright, wait 1 second. If not, you know what, we'll just go PNG. We'll just go PNG and make it a little bit easier. Wait for it. Wait for it. Bam, here I am. Good to be back. Good to be back. Alright. So let us go and go all the way around. Now the reason why I had to swap is because the USB, you know, I'd swapped it around and, you know, I don't want to keep swapping it around. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here already. I'm getting distracted here already. Well, that should be that done there. Now to get on to airbrushing. Power of airbrushing, I say. It's very powerful stuff. There we go, that's already looking like 10 times better tower. You know what, we'll go back on that one. Just because I cannot really see it too much. And I do need to fill in these gaps over here. So I'll fill in these gaps first before we move any further but the hair along. There we go. Also, we were provided the image of charcoal from charcoal. I thought I might as well make another one of these VTuber cosplays because I do want to do more, I tell you. Do want to do more. I should really make it like a voting thing now. It'd make me more motivated to do it. Not that I'm not, you know, happy with doing it, it's just sometimes I like juggling what to do. And it's annoying. I have too many ongoing series, that's what it is. Too many ongoing series. Alright, let us see. Over here. There we go. Yeah, not too bad at all. Yeah, that's actually not looking too bad. Now for the strands, I tell you. now for the strands. Those are going to be a pain. I'll just do darker, it'd be a little bit easier. My eyes are, watering, I tell you, because I'm trying to focus on the little lines, and my sweat just keeps dripping into my eye. That is so annoying, I tell you, so annoying. Let's take their eyebrows, I tell you. Perfect, perfect. Alright. What else? You know what, we could steal the bit around their eye, but... you know what? Maybe not. But I will steal the eyelash bits. There we go. What other details do we need to do? I could do a light, yeah. I think what the problem with the bits of hair over here is that they're so dark that it's harder to get the colour of it out. Well, I guess we could get started on the outfit, I tell you. And what will add an extra layer. Make those layers invisible. There we go. And now we get started on making the outfit. And it's mostly not that bad to design. And this one's, you know, got to be a pain. Actually, we're not actually doing that bad here. We are actually not doing that bad. I do apologize for not speaking too much, you know, during this. It's just I'm very focused. And that is a problem that I have. I get too focused, I forget to speak. I noticed that when watching back at one of our Dark Souls clips. That was terrible, you know, I didn't speak that much because I was too busy, you know, click-clack the mouse to hit the enemy so I do not die. Yeah, that should do. That should do. And then that is... I guess that's where they get their name, you know, the infamous black coat. There we go. And let us go and bring that further down and across. Making sure I unplugged my headset, well not headset, webcam. Oh, got a pain in my chest there. Yeah, that's actually not looking too bad at all. Yeah, not that bad. Not that bad at all. What else? Ah. There's that to this. Yeah, there we go. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Oop. Yeah, I think this is, you know, not that bad progress. Charcoal gives kisses. Oh, that cracks me up. Wait 1 second. There we go. Alright, that should be us. Ah, no, wait. We forgot the bunny ears. The thing that I said about, you know, I would forget. There we go. And let us go and bring that around. There we go. And not too bad at all. And that should be that done. Let me start saving it and we'll do the mouths and all that. This is Oaki Charcoal, aka infamous black coat. There we go. Yes, yes. Alright. Now we get to the mouth. And it's just going to be the same as before. We normally just take a little bit of the mouth away. Go over. Of that. And not too bad at all. And then I'll just save that as number 2. And then we'll just go all the way into this. There we go. Not too bad at all. That'll be number 3. And now that that is done, I can black use out. I can boot up the Oaki Cosplay. Is that being over here? Yeah, we have it. This one does not have a thingy, so wait 1 second. Let me go put in. Let's see. These are the remastered ones. Okay, okay. So close mouth. Open mouth. Wait. I might also have to fix the background of it because, you know, it is showing a white line that is not supposed to show a white line. Pretty sure if I make it smaller it should disappear. No, it does not. That is very odd. Alright, now for charcoal. I know charcoal 1 has that line, I'm pretty sure. With fill in the background, yeah, I can see it. Alright. Save. Yep. Then go backwards. Save as. Wait for it. Number 2. Yep. And then we go further back. To number 1. Wait, I went back in time. It's all going to still be there. Poop. I thought I was being smart. No, I was not. I was fooled, I tell you. I was fooled. That is charcoal too. What has happened? Yes, proceed. Alright. Save. There we go. We can save that. Now when I do the next Oaki cosplay in here, that being charcoal, it should not have the line, but it still has a line. What? But I got rid of the line. What? Ah. Save. And then it's like a Pokemon evolution, I tell you, that's what it reminds me of. There we go. That is not too bad. I would say not too bad. I will say the other version does have the problem of the lines being quite... it's not too visible. It's really not that visible. Do I go back and fix it? I don't think so. I do not think so. No. Yes. Alright. There we go. Now that we have our charcoal model all readied up, I realize I never numpadded these ones. The other ones are numpadded. Numpad 4. So this would be 5. Here we have Catsini. Would recommend going and checking them out on YouTube. There we go. Not too bad, I tell you. Not too bad at all. I feel like that is quite nice. Look at us. Look at us. Alright, you know what, I'm going to be ending it off there because it's getting quite hot now. So hopefully you enjoyed us. Have a nice day, safe, observable. Good social things are very important, very important. Everybody say thanks so much.